MJ here from East London. I usually write route review for races. I think the first international route review I wrote was the Two Oceans route review. I've never written the Comrades one. I think I'll write it for the first time this year. At least I've done 3 down runs now. I think I have an experience of what to expect on the route. So today, after our last double digits run today, I made a commitment that I will do a live route review. I will talk instead of writing as usual, but obviously the written one will follow up. I will take maybe about 20 minutes. I'll try to be very fast, but the written one will be more comprehensive and detailed. I think before I can talk about the route itself, let me preface this route review by making the following statement based on my own experience. At Comrades, we have 3 categories of runners. Before you even go there or you craft your plan in running Comrades, you must know which category you belong in. The first category is the one that is going for gold. The one that run 250 kilometers per week. Those one usually they chase the record and they run Comrades in negative splits. All the records that have been achieved at Comrades are done at negative splits, meaning they start consecutively and finish faster. You can only do that when you have mileage in your legs and you are really talented and you train very hard. 250. That's the first category. You know that you are chasing the gold. And this year, obviously, I believe that the 2016 course record or Comrades record by David Khatebe will fall this year because the distance will be shorter. They say 87.7. I believe that we will run 88 kilometers there. The H or the G and H batch, for sure, they are running 89 kilometers there before they start at the back. So even though the official distance as published by Comrades is saying 87.7, prepare to set your watch at 88 kilos. That should be the time that you put in your watch for the predicted finish time. So that first category is those are the top athletes. The second category will be the ones that do 150 kilometers per week, the silver medalist. Those ones usually start very fast and then maintain in the second half. They don't finish faster. They actually go through halfway 330 and then they maintain into a 710 or 720 or 730. But they maintain the easier second part of the Comrades. That is the down part of the route. So they just maintain to finish at silver pace. That's the second category. You know you've trained for that one to do what I would say now a positive split, because you start faster but you don't finish faster. You just maintain the average pace that is required. And then the third category is where most of us belong. That's where some of us, whether we like it or not, we will finish slower at Comrades. and as such, that means when we plan for our Comrades pacing, we should plan as such that I'll reach halfway. For example, what I did last year, I thought I was going to do a negative split Comrades last year. I set myself to finish the first half in 4 hours, and I did 45 kilometers in 4 hours. But hey, I couldn't do 350. I ended up doing 436 in my second half. Even though mentally I wanted to push, but the body said, you don't belong to those first 2 categories. You must train stronger. So I did first half in 4 hours, and then I did the second half in 4:36. That's usually the majority. I can even say 90% of the field at Comrades start, I can say, faster and finish slower. So before we even go to the road, you must now know where you belong in those categories. The first one that finished faster start consecutively, but they finished faster. I remember David Khatib in 2016. The last 20 Ks he was running around 3:30, 3:20, and they were starting at 3:50, 3:45, the first part of Comrades. But that last 20, and the likes of Ludwig Mabobolo, they believed that no, let's allow him to go, we'll catch up. They never caught him. And then he ran a record 5:18, something, I think 16. So first category, you start consecutively, you finish faster. The other one, the silver medalists, they usually start very fast, but they maintain the second part. We have a good marathon, Comrades Marathon runner called Olile Mashikil. Mashikila can run the first half as 3:41, can even do the second half in 3:41. He can maintain the pace. I remember in 2017, I ran with him up to halfway. He did 3:41. I did 3:42. I could see him at Dramont, but I did 8:09, and he did a self. So there are those that can just go at Comrades and just maintain to whatever target they want to do. Those ones are really running 100 kilometers to 150. But some of us we just start faster, whether we like it or not, we finish slower. So when we then choose our target, we must know which category we belong in. Now let's go to the route very quickly. As you know, we will start in front of the Pietermaritzburg Hall in the dark. When I wrote the Two Oceans route review, I had a theme that said, no rush in the dark. Whether you are feeling strong, whatever, but if the sunlight is not there, do not rush in the dark. I think if you have a pen, write that down. Do not rush in the dark, no matter how strong you feel. Maybe when the sunlight comes, you can make a decision on whether, even the top athletes, do not rush in the dark. That's why I'm saying they start consecutively and finish faster. No one start fast in the dark. That is deliberate for the Comrades down run route, because it is a climb from the Pietermaritzburg Hall to the top of Polyshots. But I'll go in detail what to expect the first 5Ks, because from 1 to 8.3 kilometers, it is from the start to the top of Polyshots. The first 2 kilometers, as the canyon goes at 5:30, it is actually a down section. What happens in the down run Comrades, once even the top athletes are faster, even some of us who follow, we become faster. That's why the majority of the field in 2016 was faster. It is because the quicker they move in the front and give space to us, we also move a bit faster in that order, and the field at the back also move a bit faster. But we need to be very careful. I have what I call race adrenaline. The fact that you've been resting for the last 3 weeks, others 2 weeks, others it will be a week, and you'll be stronger and fresher, should not make you run faster in the dark, because you'll be fresher, you'll be more stronger and all that. But try by all means to hold back. The first 2 kilometers is actually a down section. It will be one of the easiest kilometers we will run at Comrades. I don't want to talk about the back guys, G and H, because for about 8 to 12 minutes, they will be walking to the start line. I usually say the back guys do not run actually Comrades in 12 hours. They must set themselves to run Comrades in 11 hours, 50 minutes. Because for 10 minutes, they have not even started running, but the clock is ticking. Because there are 20,000 runners and they are at the back. So they are pacing, even though they can try to catch up time for the cutoff points, but actually their running time is 11 hours, 50 minutes, even though they will do it sub 12. And then once you reach, the rate now is slightly changed after 2Ks. We don't go straight, we will then turn right. Because when you go straight, it becomes very dark in the previous down runs. But this time we will turn right into where the area, I don't know the name of the area, where there will be street lights. Let's hope that load shedding will not affect us. It will be much lighter than the previous years. But once we reach the 2nd kilometer mark, it won't be up and down as in the usual years. It will be a 3-kilometer gradual climb to 5Ks. 2 kilometers down, 3 kilometers of a gradual climb to 5Ks. That's why we say don't rush in the dark. Yeah. Then you can, there is early. Some of us at the back will run and walk that section. Gold medalist and silver medalist, you just drop the pace and continue running. But some of us will run and walk. That section, it's new. We are going to do it for the first time. This says a 3-kilometer gradual climb, and then we get a break about 300 meters down. And then this one doesn't have a name. I don't know. I will name it in my review. You will then climb from the 5th kilometer mark to 8.3. 8.3 is the top of Polish shots. Yeah, it's the top of Polish shots. I don't know. I will name that thing because it is a steep climb from 5Ks to 8.3. It's very steep. We must respect that section. Again, some of us, we need to run and walk. The ones with shiny medals can just drop a pace and go up. Once we reach Polish shots, we reach it at 8.3, and then we will descend Polish shot. Polish shots is 2 kilometers. So we will descend for about 2 kilometers. It's a steep descent. We begin there to say to some of us who are going to drive buses, we will tell the passengers to actually shorten their strides so that they can protect their quads. Hold back there. It's a 2-kilometer steep descent to the bottom of Little Police, down there for about 2 kilometers from 8.3 to 10.3. And then the climb to the top of Little Police is also a kilometer. Yeah, it's also a kilometer. Run and walk that thing. The shiny medal dudes can drop that pace and continue running to the top of Little Police. You descend Little Police for another kilometer. It's not a steep descent. It's a 2-kilometer. It goes down, but not as steep as Polish shots, and it is also 2 kilometers. We will descend to about 2 kilometers. For me, I don't know why the Comrades experts and writers never named the area from the bottom of Little Police to Umlas Road, because there we begin serious climbing from 13.3, there at the bottom of Little Police, to about 19.7, given the changes of the road. We will reach Umlas Road, let's say 20 Ks, but the exact distance will be around 19.7. You actually climb for those 5 kilometers, 5.3 kilometers, non-stop, you will get 200 to 400 little breaks. But it is a 5 kilometer incline or climb to about 19.7. I don't know, it doesn't have a name. They don't name it, they don't say this one. But in my route review for the first time, it will get a name. Because you must prepare to climb from the bottom of Little Police at about 13.3 to exactly the Umlas Road. Umlas Road, as you know, is actually the highest point of the route. It is about 800 meters to 22 meters above sea level. That's the area where we say it is the highest point of Comrades, whether down or up. So you reach Umlas Road, set yourself that from the first kilometer to the Umlas Road, meaning 20 km, no matter how strong you feel, you don't become explosive because it is actually a climb. Yes, you'll get a break at Police for 2 km, you'll get a break at on top of Little Police for 1 km, but from 13.3 to 19.3, then you get now a non-stop incline to Umlas Road. I will name it, I will write a review and name it for the first time. I will try also to do the elevation graph that shows that section. It is very steep and it goes for 5 km into 19.7, but we can say it. Once you reach that highest point, if you have been very conservative, you don't go fast, even if you lose time. Let's say you reach the Umlas Road and based on your target, you are behind by 3 minutes to 5 minutes. From 20 km now to 40 km, you can make up that time. But that does not mean you need to be explosive. Because from the Umlas Road, it will descend to the bottom of Inchanga. That will be 40 km this year. The bottom of Inchanga, as you begin to climb Inchanga, maybe you'll go about 200 meters and then your watch or whatever you are using will say 40 km done. And then the board on your right will then say 47, let's say 48 kilometers to go. So from Umlas Road to the bottom of Inchanga, if you are behind, you can at least make up maybe 2 minutes. Don't be explosive, because at that stage, the down run has not started. We have, with this thing they call down run, the first 40 kilometers, there's no down run there. You actually climb, and there are many of unnamed hills. On my route review, I will name them for the first time. Let's have names for those little things. Some are 500 meters and very steep. We will fill them. So then from Umlas Road, that is having climbed from 13.3 to 19.7, 20 km, we then reach Umlas Road. And then the route there, this is one of the critical areas of the down run Comrades, because there, if for example you have been running nicely and the target pace for what you want to achieve at Kingmeans, let's say if you want to do silver, the average pace I think will be 5:07. Let's say if you reach Umlas Road at that 5:07, from Umlas to the bottom of Inchanga, you can run 5 minutes average there. Not to be explosive. You can't go from 5:07 and all of a sudden you become explosive and run 4:40. Then you will have a problem for sure. So if you are 4:07, target pace for silver, then from Umlas Road, you can play around 4:55, 5:05, 4:55, 5 minutes to the bottom of Inchanga, which is 40 km. the route becomes up and down, they say undulating, and it will go that. And then the noticeable climb, I'm trying to summarize, I don't even want to read my notes. The noticeable climb in that section will come when we leave Cato Ridge into what they call Harrison Flats. But even on the up run, Comrades, to the top of Harrison Flats, you actually climb, even on the down run, to the top of Harrison Flats, of which I can check now, of which that section is actually 34.4, the top of Harrison Flat. You start climbing that section at 31.4. So from 20 Ks, for that 11 Ks, it will be up and down, undulating. You can maintain a pace to 31.4. But from 31.4 to 30.4, on top of Harrison Flats, you actually climb. So there you can go back to run and walk that section, because it starts from 31.1 to 34.1. The shiny medalist guys, gold, and there you can just drop the pace and you maintain to the top of Harrison Flats, and you still on target. For some of us back at the field, we can move at our average pace from 20 Ks to about 31, meaning that's about 11 kilometers of that section from Umlas Road to Cato Ridge. You see, we can maintain a pace there. We don't have to try and bank some time. We will find it very difficult. Comrades is very long to say now I'll bank 5 minutes to be used where we must at least maintain, because our aim, the major objective of doing that, of maintaining and accepting to lose time, in particular in the downward Comrades, is to make sure that once we reach the down section, which is 52 kilometers after Potter's Hill, we must be able to run at least. Yes, we'll be tired when we reach Potter's Hill. It's a known fact for some of us, in fact for the majority of us, but the aim is for us to be able to run and not walk a lot that section. That's why we are not explosive in this first part, from 1 to even to 19 point to Umlas, even from 20 Ks to about 31.4 to Cato Ridge. You are not explosive, you are maintaining whatever you made. If you are stronger, you can, then if you are late by 2 minutes, try to make that 2 minutes to be even to what you want to achieve at the end. And then we climb to the top of Harrison Flats, and then from 34.4 to 40 Ks, it is a 5 kilometer descent. That's why you need to maintain from 20 to about 31, run and walk from 31 to 34.4, and then because you will get that 5 kilometer descent uninterrupted. Again, if you are late by a minute or two, don't be explosive. Keep those strides in the first half very short, because you are protecting those quadriceps. You must protect them at all material times before Inchanga. We can talk about after 52 on whether you start being explosive, and then if you do that, you know fields will be waiting to deal with you. You see, but we are going to talk about that when we talk about the second half. Now we are on the first half. You then reach the Harrison Flats, 34.4, and then you get a 5 kilometer descent uninterrupted. Then you can make up 1 or 2 minutes to 40 Ks. 40 Ks will be exactly as you begin attempting or attacking Inchanga, then it will say 40 kilometers, your watch or whatever, and then the board will say 48. Let me say it will say 48 to go. And then you begin a 2 kilometer climb Inchanga. Inchanga, whether you like it or not, is there. No one will remove it. We need to just respect it. Once you reach Inchanga, 40 kilometers, if I will be driving a bus, I will tell my passengers, if we have some muti that you are having with you, some pills or whatever, we'll take a lot of walks. It's time to now eat those things because we'll have a lot of time to walk that thing. The shiny medalist dudes, their strategy should be dropping that pace and continue running. Some of us, 90% of us, is to run and walk in Chaka. Prepare to lose time there. If you will be going at 5 minutes, it won't be a harm to then climb Inchanga at 6 minutes, losing 2 minutes. Because once you reach the top of Inchanga marathon mark now, you will then descend for another 2 kilometers. So you must not start having anxiety and frustration that you're losing time. Inchanga is there and we will lose time whether we like it or not. The top athletes, those that will be watching television, you'll see that pace will drop significantly at Inchanga. That is telling us, the backfield, that we need not to try and be brave at Inchanga. Let's respect it. Let's climb that thing at slower pace. The shiny medalist dudes, gold and silver. Some of us, Bill Rowan to Charlie and other things, will run and walk that thing. Sure. We don't have a choice there. If you attempt to run the whole of Inchanga, definitely your heart rate will shoot up. We know that once your heart rate shoots up, it takes a lot of energy from you, and you have 48 kilometers to go. So that's not being strategic. That's being unstrategic, and you will suffer at the end. Inchanga, run and walk. Have a chat with your friends, ask them how they are they feeling good? Use that belt, we have belts, we are very creative. Take out your thing, eat, hydrate enough, talk, run 200 meters, walk 200 meters, run 100 meters, walk 100 meters. And then marathon mark on the other side of Inchanga, you descend for about 2 kilometers. In the previous down runs, Drummond becomes a symbolic halfway. It's just a symbolic halfway. They say it's halfway, but in terms of your distance, it would be actually not halfway. The halfway will be the 45 kilometers just next to Arthur's seats on your right when you go down. But this year, Drummond will not be a symbolic halfway. In terms of distance, it will be actually halfway. It will be 43.35 or 43.4, let's say. But I want to say Drummond this year will be 44 kilometers because we are going to run 88. So once you reach Drummond, it will be purple, Hollywood. It's not symbolic, you are actually halfway. You must know that you are actually halfway. You can look at your time to assess whether you are on pace and all that. You can have the banana and the potato there. You can have your first big meal at Drummond. I usually advise people to do that. Grab that banana, grab that potato, have that little salt. Don't overuse salt because you'll have a running stomach. You'll have running stomach, stomach cramps. Don't overuse salt. There will be a lot of oranges with salt at Comrades. And use those, but don't overuse salt. You'll have a problem with your stomach. It will have cramps and all. So once we reach Drummond, everyone who is advising, even the top athletes, even the back runners, you will be told once you pass Drummond and you reach the Atlas seat on your right, that will be 45 kilometers. And then the Wall of Honor on your left, let's say 46 kilometers. That section, 252. is the most difficult section of the down run. I will be detailed in my written route review. I will just summarize. Once you reach the Arthur's Seat, definitely you'll start panicking because it's very steep. It is very steep. And remember, you descend in Changa for 2Ks, and if you are undisciplined as you descend and it flattens out and up, then you'll have a problem to adjust into a manageable pacing, because you've been reckless. You must not be reckless when you descend in Changa too. Just take it easy, shorten those strides, move. Even as you reach the spectators and the water tables at Drummond, drop that pace, grab, have a breakfast there. Because if you don't, you'll suffer later because you'll have nothing. The top athletes, they have the seconding tables with their special motives. We cannot act like them. And they finish Comrades. This year they will finish it at 5:16, that's my prediction. 5:16, 5:17, but the record will fall definitely. Those boys are very fast. So they finish early, and 5:15 and 5:16 is actually where we are at Drummond. It means we'll run another 6 hours out of Drummond to Kingsmead. Let's have that breakfast. Whether you feel hungry or not, grab that banana, grab that potato with salt, have it, drop the pace, you take the power rate, take down the banana, and you move. My advice, honest advice, is that after doing that, passing Drummond into Arthur's Seat, take that walk. Take that walk. When you pass Arthur's Seat walking. It's too steep, that area. Just tell yourself that there you have a minute or two that you'll waste between Arthur's Seat and the Wall of Honor. That section is a bit steep. Take that walk, allow the banana, the orange, the potato to go in nicely. Take that walk, and from the Wall of Honor, you can then start running. I said this live route review will end at halfway. And we are now at halfway. We are at Arthur's Seat, where you are actually taking a walk. You have eaten your breakfast. Let's call it your breakfast. You are now allowing it to go down. You are drinking your stuff. You are taking your muti halfway also with your breakfast. You are readjusting. If you have a bottle, you are refilling. You are doing as you are walking. You can do what they say you must do. You take off your cap, you say, "Good morning, Arthur." They say you'll have a nice second half. If you don't do that, you may have a problem. That is a belief, and that will remain a belief, because there are many people who don't do that and they run well the second half. So if you believe, then it is an opportunity for you to do that. You can do it. Then the Wall of Honor 46. As I'm saying, from Arthur's Seat to the bottom, in fact to the top of Botha's Hill, of which is 52 kilometers, it is a very difficult section. There are about 3 steep short inclines there. I will be detailed in my route review and give you the exact distance where you need to be aware where they are coming. There are about 3 of them. 1, you go down. 2, you go down, and then actually Botha's Hill into 52 kilometers. Once you reach 52 kilometers, the real down run begins. There are no major climbs. The route will go down all the way. It will go down all the way. In summary, Pietermaritzburg, City Hall, 2 kilometers, it will be down. The next 3 kilometers is a gradual climb to 5Ks. Don't be explosive, run and walk, drop that pace and continue running. You'll get a break for about 300 meters to 5.3, and then the 3-kilometer steep climb to the top of Polly Shorts. I will name it. It must have a name, that thing. And then you descend Polly Shorts for about 2 kilometers to Little Polly's, climb Little Polly's for about 1, descend Little Polly's to about 13.3 kilometers. That area again doesn't have a name. 13.3 to 19.7 to Umlas Road, highest point. It's a non-stop 5-kilometer incline. Prepare to lose time there, run and walk, drop the pace. From Umlas Road to about 31.4 kilometers, Kato Ridge. There it will be up and down. You can maintain your pace. In fact, you can, let me be specific, maintain your goal pace there. Don't lose time, just maintain. Being explosive is not an option because you'll have a problem. Just maintain your goal pace. Once you reach Kato Ridge 31.4, you then climb to the top of Harrison Flats. That is 34.4. Even there, drop that pace and continue running if you want the shiny medal. The majority of us, we need to run and walk that thing to 34.4. From 34.4 to 40 kilometers, it is a 5-kilometer uninterrupted descent. Don't be explosive also, but you can make up 1 or 2 minutes there to the bottom of Inchanga. Inchanga is a 2-kilometer climb. Whether you like it or not, you will walk. If you want to run well, the second half, run and walk. Top of Inchanga is the 42.2 kilometer mark is there. You then descend for another 2 kilometers. And then 1 kilometer, and then you reach Drummond, 43.5, let's say, or 44 kilometers. Drummond, that's where you need to have your breakfast. Whether you are hungry or not, put something inside your stomach there. Don't overuse salt. It's very early, and you'll have a problem. And then from the 44 kilometers, Drummond is no longer symbolic. It's actually that thing. And then you climb from there. You attach it 45 kilometers, Wall of Honor 46, and then from that section, as we say, is the most difficult section of the down run because it climbs to 52, and then from 52, that's where the down run actually begins. But before that, there's nothing down about it. It's just they say it's a down run because the elevation of the first 45 kilometers of the down run is actually 735 meters, and the whole of the down run elevation gain is actually 1200 meters, meaning 1200. So that should tell you that the first part of the down run Comrades is the most difficult because you climb for 735 in the total of 1200. So be very careful in the first half of Comrades. I will be detailed in the return down run. It's a pity I don't have a computer in front of me. If I would say interact with you and say any questions or whatever, but we can interact from here. At least I did from first kilometer to about Wall of Honor and summarized to 52 to say from Atas seat to 52 is the most difficult part of the down run because you are tired at that stage and the climbs there are steep to 52. 52, if you can run from there, then you will have a nice run because from there it really goes down with the hills that we will mention in the detailed review. So for those that are watching, thank you very much for watching. That's the summary. I always try to be brief, but I know I'm not a brief person. But that's the summary. On Wednesday or between Wednesday and Thursday, maybe I should commit myself and say Wednesday next week I must publish the written review with let me say a proper elevation graph, because the elevations that we see are hiding the climbs. The one that I will share with you, that I will design, will actually show the climbs, all of them, the named and unnamed ones. So thank you very much, guys, until I publish the review on Thursday. Thank you. And
no, well done indeed.
Finish.
Well done, buddy.
no, thank you, brother.